stories, but I have issues with Cinderella. I think that it's a great story. There's subjects at play like class and domestic abuse and sexism, but there's a part that's always glossed over in every version I've ever seen, and it always bugs me. So if I'd written Cinderella, it wouldn't even be called Cinderella. It would be called Mice Get Turned into Horses! Featuring Cinderella.
The apps are the worst, bro. Like, are you guys together? Are you guys like a thing? How'd you guys meet? Online? Not on the apps, online. On the apps. You know online is like extra freaky, right? Like when people say online. Online, that's some regular 2000 shit. We're on the apps now, baby.
I'm really trying to get over my ex though. I went on a date last week and this guy was like, hey, I like you. Do you want to come over, watch Netflix and chill? I was like, I don't do Netflix and chill dates. I know what American men want. But if you have Amazon Prime, I'm up for casual sex. I did this joke the other day at a show, and after the show, this guy came to me and he was like, hey, I have Amazon Prime. I was like, this is a very old joke. I'm on Disney Plus now.
Hi, I'm Marcus, and I'm the idiot on the comedy circuit. I've asked a group of comedians some questions on how to start and succeed in the world of stand-up comedy. Subscribe to this channel to see what their answers were, as well as to chart my progress on stage, be it crushing or crashing. More likely the latter than the former. You can also follow my progress on social media. I am ION Comedy on Twitter and ION Comedy Circuit on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Here is today's video.
You're gonna hate this answer. You're always ready to take it to the stage. That's stand-up comedy. That's the art form. That's how it works. It's the only art form where even when the joke is 5% done, you have to bring it to the stage. So that's the, I guess the grit of stand-up comedy is like, people think, oh, I'm gonna like be in performance mode when everything is 100% done and ready. And the truth is, that's just not how it works. You have to go on stage and try out the material and try out 5% of it, and then it grows to 10%, and then it grows to 15%. And it's a very, 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 very slow process. And it's a painful process because the audience is like, they're not seeing how things are connected, but you know in your head, like, oh, I'm getting closer to connecting them. So the answer is, the second you have a thought, it's ready for the stage, and you'll probably bomb, but once you do it 100 more times, it'll be like an incredible bit that you can post online, and random people will follow you and all that shit.
I think that of all the disciplines, all the things you can do in life in a creative way, stand-up is because I've done a lot of things in my life. I've done filmmaking, I've done animation, I've done comic books, I've done all these things. But my life up until then had been this almost like minefield of unfinished projects. And I almost became notorious from my friends for being, oh, it's Steve, and he has so many great ideas and he never, ever finishes them. And then the great thing about stand-up is that every single show is a finished product. You never, like even if it's just an open mic to 3 people, that was a thing that you did, that was a product that people either bought a ticket to, or they put money in the bucket at the end or whatever, and they went and they saw it, and it's over, it's done. You can't even rest on your laurels. You can't even say like, oh, that's great, that'll be uploaded to Netflix later. Like, it's done. And so every single night you do it, it's a new product, and you do it. So I think from the word go, you're a stand-up comedian. Because that's the job. The job is that show. It's whether or not you made people laugh in that moment. And sometimes people will laugh at the same joke 5 times in a row, and then sometimes people will hate that joke, and you start getting into the existential crisis of like, so is it a good joke or is it a bad joke? And it's like, it's both. It's Schrodinger's joke. It's both a good joke and a bad joke. You know what I mean? And it's just a question of like what night you did it, and it's a product. So I think if you want to be a stand-up comedian, unlike almost any, if you train to be like a train driver, you can't call yourself a train driver after your first, you know what I mean? Like, that wouldn't be good. You know what I mean? I don't want any police officers going to cadet school, and going like, oh, I'm a cop now, with a gun, you know what I mean? But a stand-up comedian is pretty much a stand-up comedian. In fact, the most professional, well-paid, stratospherically famous stand-up comedians, they're still just guys doing open mics, really. Really, you kind of don't really change as a person. You still get nervous before a gig, and you still get criticisms. And really, at the end of the day, I think it's not really as if like you're elevated from the start. It's more like you just always stay on this like even keel of kind of, hopefully, a kind of creative integrity. In that you're only riding on the kind of the good faith of whatever crowd you're talking to at the time,
And I thought I was ready. I think after 2.5 years, last 6-7 months has been the time when I was like, okay, I'm ready to do this. Like, I know how to do it. Let's hit big stages and try to go out of town. So I think it takes time, but when when it's not about consistently killing or consistently bombing, it's just, you just know about things, like in a relationship, when you're ready to like take the next step, the same way if you're doing a job, after a few years, you'll be like, oh, I know how to do this, but you will never be a master at it. Of course, it takes a long time, but I don't know if there's a specific answer to that. But also, I don't think you're ever ready for things. If an opportunity comes to you, don't question yourself so much. But of course, don't say yes for a 20-minute set when you have only 10 minutes. Don't do those things. But if you think it's a big stage and it will help you in your future things, just say yes if you're ready for it. And you will be ready once you get on that stage, all right? I've done that. It was fun, and that's how you keep going up, all right?
And that was today's video. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the notification bell to be prompted when a new video comes out. And don't forget to follow me on social media, ION Comedy on Twitter and ION Comedy Circuit on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Okay, bye-bye.